So welcome to Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga is a balanced yoga. So Ha meaning sun, Tha meaning moon. So at the end, you should feel balanced between work and relaxation. I do have a little bit of music by me. It should be soft enough that you can't hear it much. Reason being is because I want you to hear my voice. If you would like to put on your own playlist, whatever relaxes you, feel free to do that as well. I'd be happy to have you
All right, I see you. Go on, go away. The dog just came back.
I know I have to get out of the home or else I'm bombarded by fur balls everywhere. So if you can hear my music, just let me know. I can turn it down, but it's just to help
No,
me keep.
it's fine.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Then I'm just going to mute everyone real quickly. And again, if you need to talk to me or get a hold of me, just
Yeah, I was just going to tell you that, like, I have a bad hip and a horrible back, so I may have to make some modifications.
No problem. I'll offer modifications and you do what feels best to you. This is a more restorative type of class,
Right.
anyway, so it should be okay. But please don't let anything hurt you, for sure. All right, so let's just come to the middle of our mat. And come into a nice, easy seated position. Roll those shoulders back and place those hands right on those knees. And go ahead and close your eyes to start. I just want you to focus on your breath for a moment. And just notice the natural ebb and flow of your breath. Maybe start to try to elongate that breath just a little bit. Deep inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Warming up the inside of the body first. And as you sit here, go ahead and set your intention for today's class. Maybe it's to relax, maybe to try something new, maybe just to get some stretch in there. Whatever your intention, just set that now. Go ahead and take a few more breaths here at your own pace. And then coming back to our space here, opening those eyes. We're going to start just by warming up those muscles head to toe. So let's start with the neck. You're just going to take your chin to the chest and roll your head, so ear to shoulder, and slowly to the other side, ear to shoulder. Taking your time, maybe if there's a tight spot, holding it there for a moment. Feeling any of that tension in the neck, releasing. Go ahead, chin to chest, bring it back to center. All right, go ahead and round those shoulders for me a few times. And take them forward. We're going to stagger our legs to start. So you want your front leg in front of your back leg. If this is not comfortable, there's a couple of options. You can place a block under the knees. If that feels better, you can also take that foot a little bit more forward so that the knees have room to relax, just so that you feel comfortable and supported. You're going to walk your hands forward so you feel that stretch in the hips. If this is enough for you, stay here. If you'd like to come down to those elbows, feel free to do so. And then just drop that head, relax the neck. Breathe into any of those tight muscles. Two more breaths here. Good. Pressing up onto those palms, pushing back up to center. We're going to take it to the side. You can reach that palm out and allow the opposite arm to reach overhead. If you'd like, you can come down to that elbow. If you need something in between, grab that block or that cushion and just allow that arm to rest. Good. Goal here is to feel that side body stretch from the armpit down through the hip. Good. If you'd like to find a little bit of movement in that arm, feel free to do so if that feels good to you this morning. And then take that hand behind the head, opening that elbow. And turn to look up at that ceiling. Pressing that elbow back, opening that chest and shoulders. Good. Allow that elbow to roll the body forward, walk yourself to the center, and press back to the top. Good. Take those shoulders out. You're going to switch the legs. So you're going to take the left leg in the front now. Again, modifications, taking that block under the knees or allowing that leg to lay forward so that the knees have room to relax. Whatever feels good today. And again, we're going to reach forward so we feel that stretch in the left hip. If you were good here, if you can feel that stretch, just allow that head and neck to fall. If you'd like to come down to those elbows this morning, feel free to do so. Drop that head, relax the neck. Think of pressing into those hips, both hips on the floor. Two more breaths here. And when you're ready, press up onto those palms, walk it back up to the center. We're going to take out to the opposite side, left palm down to the floor, right arm reaches over. Couple of options here, taking your arm down the elbow on a block or down to the floor if your practice allows that this morning too. Just making sure that your right hip stays on the floor, and that you're feeling a stretch from the armpit all the way through the hip, that side body stretch. If you'd like to find a little movement there in the arm, feel free to do so. Good. And then taking that hand right behind the head and allowing that elbow and shoulder to open. Opening that chest. If you'd like, you can look up towards the ceiling. Continuing to push that elbow back. Good, and then allowing the elbow to close, rolling the body forward, walking yourself to the center, and pressing to the top slowly. Good. From here, we're just going to round on the hips and warm up the hips a little bit. So you're going to take your hands to your knees. You're going to press the chest forward, and then counterbalance, pulling backwards. Nice big circles on the hips. Good, yes. Really moving through all of those positions in the upper body, circling around those hips, pushing to the extremes with that upper body. Excellent. There shouldn't be any pain involved here. If there is pain, just shorten those circles a little bit. It should just feel good that we're pushing into those muscles, warming them up. When you're ready, go ahead and switch direction. So loosening up that spine, loosening up those hips. A few more here. Good. And back to center. Excellent. We're going to press onto all fours here. So you're just going to come up onto those hands and knees. If you need some extra padding here, you can fold that mat under or just have a cushion or a blanket under those knees. For some stretch and cat-cow here. Before we go into cat-cow, I want to circle on those joints. So again, making those big circles around the wrists and the knees. There might be some tightness in this one, but there shouldn't be any pain associated. Just gently circling. When you're ready, switch to the opposite side. Good. Flipping those wrists one at a time, stretching that wrist out. Another side, flip the wrist. Good. We're going to take that right leg out to the side. Perfect. And all we're going to do is lean forward onto those wrists and then press back into a modified child's pose. We really feel that stretch in the hamstring and in the inner thigh up into that hip flexor. Pressing forward and back. There might be tightness here. There should not be any pain. So trying to keep the pinky toe on the floor as we do this. Forward and back. Good. A few more here. Pressing forward. Pulling back. Forward and back. And forward and back. Good. Coming up to all fours, taking that knee in. We'll bring that left leg out, toes to the floor, so pinky toe tries to stay on the floor throughout this. Again, we press forward and then pull those hips all the way back. Feeling that stretch through the inner thigh, up through the hip flexor. Good. Press and pull. Press and pull. Press, pull. Good. Slowly working through these tight muscles. Again, there should be no pain here. If there is any pain, just don't go as far back with those hips. Couple more. Forward and back. Pull to all fours. Coming into that all fours position. Shoulders right over those wrists. Hips over those knees from side view. We're here. We're going to drop into cat-cow. So cow, we're going to drop that belly down and lift those head and hips up towards the ceiling. Inhale and fill that belly with air. And as you exhale, cave the chest, round that back, press into those shoulders, head and hips drop. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Trying to elongate that breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good, a few more here. So it's your own breath timing. Good. Continuing with this series, we're going to drop those hips to the heels. Drop your elbows to the mat. Lower that head and chest. And from here, we're going to crocodile to the top. Reverse chaturanga, pressing forward and up. We end up right into that cow pose. Inhale at the top. Exhale. Round those shoulders. Cat. Drop those hips. Drop those elbows. Lower the head and chest. Reverse chaturanga. Push forward and up. Inhale. Exhale. Drop those hips. Drop the elbows, head and chest. Press forward and up. Exhale. Drop the hips. Drop the elbows, head and chest. Press forward and up. Go ahead and continue at your own pace, making sure that you stop at each posture, making sure you breathe through the series. If your body is telling you to stay in one position a little bit longer, go ahead and listen to your body. Allow yourself to sit there for a minute. Feel that stretch, whatever your body needs this morning. Complete 3 more, and then just rest in that child's pose for me. As you rest in that child's pose, if you'd like to open those knees a slight bit more, just to get a deeper stretch, feel free to do so. Good. We're going to thread that needle. You're going to take the right arm. You're going to reach nice and high up towards that ceiling. And then you're going to push that thread through the needle, the eye of the needle there, coming down to that shoulder. Lifting, open, and thread the needle down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, thread. Inhale, lift. Exhale, thread. And one more, inhale, lift. Exhale, thread that needle coming down to the shoulder. Press those hips high. Taking that left hand, pressing into the mat, twisting that upper back just a slight bit more. Three more breaths here. Release those hips back, unthread that needle, placing palms down together. Opposite side, left arm reaches high, and then thread that needle through the right arm, coming down to that shoulder. Lifting high, coming down and through. Lifting high, opening that chest, and then down to the shoulder. Lift, open, and thread. Once more, lift and open. Exhale, thread, coming down to that shoulder. Press those hips high, taking the right palm into the mat, pressing down and twisting that upper back just a slight bit more. Two more breaths here. And then gently pull those hips back. Unthread that needle. Good. Beautiful job. We're going to pull forward onto all fours. And from here, you're going to tuck those toes behind you and press those hips high, coming into that downward dog position. So downward dog, we're pressing those palms into the mat. We press our chest toward our thighs, lift the hips up towards the ceiling, and drop the heels toward the mat. Creating a perfect pyramid from our fingertips up to our hips and back down again to our heels. Go ahead and start walking that dog for me. Dropping one heel gently at a time. And gently let both heels drop towards the mat. They don't have to touch, just press in that direction. Lift that right leg up, just gently. Doesn't have to go high. Pull the knee into the chest and step forward into a lunge position. Turn that back heel out, toes to the floor, and lift to that warrior two. Warrior two, we want to center our hips between the heels. Open those arms, open that shoulder, and turn to gaze over those fingertips. Bend into that front knee. Reverse your warrior. Right arm high. Extended side angle, take the elbow to the knee, arm reaches overhead. Keep that front knee bent. Reverse warrior. Extended side angle. Once more, reverse your warrior. And elbow to knee, arms reaching overhead. Bringing back to that warrior two, turn those toes in. You're gonna turn them slightly more in, pigeon-toed a bit. Take those arms out or take those hands to the hips. Lean forward at the hips. And then when you reach about halfway, let those palms drop. This is a good opportunity for that block or those cushions if you would like. And then just allow those arms to reach on the outside of the heels if you can. Dropping the head, relaxing the neck. If you would like to use that block to support the head, you may do that as well. And then think of lifting those hips up towards the ceiling. Take those hands over to the right side. Place the right palm in the floor and reach the left palm up towards the ceiling. Good. Round the arm down. Walk yourself back to the center. Walk yourself over to the left side. Plant that left palm in the floor. Reach that right palm up. Good. And release. Walk it back to the center. Allow the body to fall. Drop that head. Relax the neck. Then utilize those blocks or cushions if needed. Press up onto those palms. Turn those knees out. Turn those toes away from each other. And we're going to come up, walk yourself up into goddess pose. So goddess pose, we're just in a nice wide plie position. Hands to heart. Get nice and low. Once more, taking that right palm to the floor, reaching that left arm up, keeping those knees bent and toes away from each other. Round the arms down, plant the left hand into the mat, reach that right arm high. And round the arms down, turn the toes forward, straighten those legs, take those hands to the hips, slowly pull up through the spine. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, turn that left toe out, coming into warrior on your left side, warrior two on your left side. Again, centering those hips between the heels. You want to open that back shoulder and turn to gaze over those fingertips, bending into that front knee. Reverse your warrior, left arm high. Elbow to knee extended side angle, arm reaches overhead. And reverse warrior. Extended side angle, elbow to knee, arm reaches overhead. And last time, reverse your warrior. Keep that front knee bent. And extended side angle. You're going to turn yourself into a runner's lunge here. Placing both hands on the mat. Take that leg back, pressing into that downward dog position. Walk that dog. Let both heels drop toward the mat. They don't have to touch, just press in that direction. Coming into our pigeon pose here. Take your right leg and let it float above the mat. Pull forward, knee comes into the chest and lays straight in between the hands. Perfect. So again, some opportunities for your block or cushions. You can place a block or cushion under your right hip to keep you up on that hip flexor, if that helps. If this feels good, if you feel that stretch just by sitting here, stay here. If you'd like to bend forward and allow yourself to into that stretch, go ahead and do so now. You can also utilize that block or cushion as a little bit more support. Whatever feels good to you today. Wherever you are, just allow that head and neck to relax. Take about 3 more deep breaths here. When you're ready, press up onto those palms. If you feel good here, if you're still feeling that stretch here, stay here. Just work on pressing that chest forward. If you want to continue with a pigeon series, You can bend that back leg and reach for it with that left arm. If that feels good, stay here. If you want to accelerate with that position, just take that foot into the crux of the elbow. If that feels good, you want to continue. The last step is just taking that right arm overhead, connecting with the left arm. So a few ways to feel this position, whatever feels good to you today. And then let me face you. You're going to bend that back leg so you're in an S shape. Good. You're going to take your blocker cushion by the leg that's in front, and you're just going to lean back onto that block, allowing that hip flexor to open a little bit more. If you don't need a block, you don't have to use one. Just a little bit more support here. Just feel that stretch from the hip flexor down through the quad, maybe to the knee. And breathe. And when you're ready, just gently press up to the top. Place that blocker cushion to the side, palms into the mat, straighten that back leg, tuck the toes, press back into that downward dog, walk that dog. Let that left leg float above the mat, just gently pull the knee into the chest, lay that knee in between the palms. Again, options here, taking a cushion or a block under that left hip, keeping you on top of that hip flexor, or using that blocker cushion as support. If you'd like to come down and stretch into that pigeon, feel free to do so. Wherever you are, just dropping that head and relaxing that neck. Breathe into those tight hips. Two more breaths here. When you're ready, pressing up onto those palms and accelerating into full pigeon. If you would like to stay right here, just focus on pressing that chest forward. If you'd like to move on, reach that right arm back, bend that right leg, opening that chest. If you'd like to move on, taking that foot into the crux of the elbow. And then final movement, if you'd like, taking that left arm overhead, connecting with the right hand. Just allow your body to be at whatever position feels good today. Each day is going to be a little bit different. Many different ways to practice this position. Good. Plant those palms in front of you, tuck the toe behind you, pressing up into that downward dog. Walk that dog out. And then one step at a time, slowly walking forward towards those palms until you're in a full forward fold position, allowing the body to ragdoll. Slight bend in the knees is okay. You can also utilize the block as an extension of your limbs. Good, bend those knees and roll up through the spine, gently, slowly, coming into a full upright position, mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach towards that ceiling. As you exhale, cactus the arms, slight back bend, lifting that chest, and allowing the head to fall slightly. Inhale, arms come to prayer position, and bend forward. Sweep those arms high, sweep and lift. Reach towards that ceiling. Exhale, cactus. Slight back bend. Inhale, prayer position. Exhale, forward fold. I think I missed our hip flexor stretch on the other side, so we'll come back to that. Inhale, sweep those arms high. Lift, exhale, cactus those arms. Slight back bend. Inhale, arms lift, prayer position. Exhale, forward fold. Walk the hands out towards that downward dog. Come down to one knee at a time and press back. Now let's go ahead and do that hip flexor stretch. So we're going to come into an S shape with that left leg in front. Left leg in front. Take that block behind you or that cushion behind you and go ahead and just lean back, opening that hip flexor. We want to make sure we're equal on both sides, getting the same stretch. And just breathe into that hip flexor. Good. And gently roll forward when you're ready. Come to an easy seated position. Take those shoulders out. We're going to work on posture today. I think that's super important. A lot of times I'm still sitting at a computer, so I end up hunching those shoulders forward. We want to train those bodies to press the shoulders back, lift the chest, lift the back, so that we're strengthening those back muscles. When we hunch forward, we actually weaken them and we rely more on that chest, right? So, hands behind the head. You're going to tilt that head back just to lay in those hands. Your focus should be where the wall meets the ceiling. You're going to press those shoulders down. Let those shoulder blades draw down the back. Lift that chest and press those elbows wide. And from here, you're more than welcome to close your eyes if that feels good today. And just breathe. Tilt the head. Press the shoulders down. Shoulder blades draw down the back. Lift the chest. Press the elbows wide. Notice how the arms are starting to fatigue. Acknowledge and then just let go. Tilt the head. Press the shoulders down. Shoulder blades draw down the back. Lift the chest. Press the elbows wide. Mind over matter at this point. Just tell yourself you're going to hold the position. Focus on the breath more than the pain. Tilt the head. Press the shoulders down. Shoulder blades draw down the back. Lift the chest. Press the elbows wide. More than halfway done. Continue to breathe. Continue to repeat the posture inside of your head. Tilt the head. Press the shoulders down. Shoulder blades draw down the back. Lift the chest. Press the elbows wide. And your next inhale, extend at the elbows. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Good. Take your hands to the front of the knees, press into that back. Allow yourself to release all that spine. And when you're ready, pull back to a seated position, hands to the knees, chin to the chest, and then just ear to shoulder, just as we began. Gently, slowly, maybe a bit more of a stretch than we started with. Couple more here. Good. Shaking out that chest, shaking out those shoulders. Taking those feet together, we're going to go ahead and lay down on our mat. Lie down on our mat. All the way. Take those knees into the chest and rock them back side to side. Maybe taking them in circles if that feels good to you today. You're going to take that left foot to the floor. Keep that right knee into the chest. Take that left hand on the outside of the right knee. Pull down towards the floor, twisting the body. All the way down. Good. Taking that right hand out to the side. If you're not all the way down on the floor, you can take that block for support or a cushion under that knee, whatever feels good to you. Ultimate goal here is to get both shoulders on the floor while having that knee on the floor as well. And then turn that head towards the right fingertips. Uh-oh. Stay there for a moment. And then take both knees back into the chest. And head down towards the other side. Taking the right hand on the outside of the left knee and pressing all the way to the floor. Then taking that left arm out to the side, turning your head to gaze at those fingertips. And as you sit here, just know my computer just alerted me, my battery is running a little low. So if we get cut off, make sure that you continue with your Shavasana, but we'll try to get through that. And then take both knees back into the chest, rock them side to side. Good. Take both feet to the floor. Go ahead and allow yourself to come into that final Shavasana position. Hands on the either side of you. Palms facing